NFL training camp is upon us, and we know during training camps, from time to time, there will be fights. And on Monday, Cam Newton got into a scuffle with the cornerback where there was a photo taken where he was about to strike the cornerback, and you just seen this psychotic smile on his face. And then on Tuesday, even bigger news, Geno Smith of the New York Jets was punched in the face by a teammate over a reported $600 debt. And that punch to the face has caused Geno 2 broken jaws, and he'll be out 6 to 10 weeks. When you owe a man, you pay a man. That simple. When will people comprehend this? Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again, this time to talk NFL, and it's been a while since I talked NFL, but the season is on the horizon. The Hall of Fame game just passed. Training camps are underway, and we have our first news, big news from training camp, and that would be Geno Smith and his altercation with IK Enemkpali that ended with Geno Smith having 2 broken jaws, and he will be out 6 to 10 weeks. Also resulting in Enemkpali's releasing by the Jets. Now, when this story first broke, it was being reported as a sucker punch, which means either Geno Smith was blindsided by the hit or he didn't deserve it per se. But now reports are coming out that this is all based around money. And we know usually when athletes fight, it's usually about money or women. And for sure this time it was about money. About a $600 plane ticket that Enemkpali bought for Geno Smith to attend his camp, which Geno was unable to attend because his friend had died in a motorcycle accident. But Geno Smith did not reimburse Enemkpali, and obviously that was a problem with Enemkpali. Now, when I first heard this, I'm thinking $600, is it really that serious? But Enemkpali is a 6th-round pick, and Ryan Clark of ESPN, who knows Enemkpali well, says he's very strict with his money, and he's also a 6th-round pick, so he's not making the kind of money Geno Smith is making. And just out of respect, when you owe a man, you should pay a man back. But I want to read you some details from what Ryan Clark had to say today on Mike and Mike about what he knows about the situation. Here's a quote from Mike and Mike on ESPN. Quote, "It was over flights and over camps not attended, and not necessarily the fact that he didn't go because he understood the reason. But I've dealt with IK a lot. This guy is really tight about his money. He really is. So whereas I've seen other players have this happen and kind of just move on from it, he couldn't. And you know, a lot of people are saying you don't punch a guy over that amount of money. It became about the fact that Geno wasn't necessarily apologetic and being in a way remorseful about the money when saying he was going to pay IK back. You know, he didn't. And he was rather smug about it," unquote. And Ryan Clark also went on to say that this wasn't the first time they have gotten into it, this camp, about money. So right there, that just lets you know that Geno Smith is sort of acting entitled. Now, going on with another Ryan Clark quote. "My report says Geno put his finger in his face and told the guy, 'Well, you're not going to do anything about it,' unquote." Now, I don't know if you guys ever seen Enemkpali, but this is a big dude. Geno Smith is feeling entitled. You know, quarterbacks wear the red shirt at training camp. He plays the glorified quarterback position. So the fact that he put his hand in his face, if that report is true, then in my estimation, Geno Smith got what was coming to him. In no way are you going to owe someone money, be smug about it, and on top of that, put your hand in their face and challenge them. Those are fighting actions and words. So Geno brought that onto himself. I have zero remorse for Geno Smith. If you challenge a man in that way, expect to be punched. I'm not going to do that to somebody and not expect them to want to fight. So Geno Smith, you brought that on yourself. 6 to 10 weeks, 2 broken jaws. You got what you deserved. Now, as for Enemkpali, it sucks that he took those actions because now he is out of a job completely. released by the Jets, and now he'll have to look for work elsewhere. Hopefully another NFL team gives him a chance. He's a 6th-round pick, so that may be in question. Now, as for the Jets, this could be a blessing in disguise, having Geno Smith go out 6 to 10 weeks. They do have the rookie Bryce Petty out of Baylor, who looks to have a lot of promise. They also signed Ryan Fitzpatrick this offseason. And to be honest, I know Fitzpatrick is far from great. He doesn't have great arm strength either, but to me, he's a better option at quarterback than Geno Smith. Last year for the Texans, Fitzpatrick actually had them respectable after having, I think, a 2-win season the year prior. He has 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Geno Smith, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. In his career, he has 25 touchdowns and 34 interceptions, does Geno Smith. In comparison to Fitzpatrick, who has 123 touchdowns and 101 interceptions in his career. So Fitzpatrick takes better care of the ball than Geno Smith. He also did better with the Texans last year than Geno did with the Jets. And the Jets, they actually have pieces now at wide receiver. You got Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, Curley. So they have pieces. We know their defense is good. They added Darrelle Revis and Cromartie to their secondary as well. So the Jets, this offseason, they've been improving their team. I honestly don't understand why Geno Smith was considered the starter anyway. I personally think Fitzpatrick is the better option. Now, when I say the better option, does that mean he's a good QB? No. Ideally, I would not want to have either as my starting quarterback, but if I had to choose between the two, I would go Fitzpatrick. This also will give them a chance to possibly see what Bryce Petty can do. Hopefully, he'll develop faster. He obviously is going to get more preseason touches now under center since Geno Smith will be gone. So for the Jets, I believe this is a blessing in disguise. Fitzpatrick is the better option. Bryce Petty could possibly be their future. And with Geno Smith out of the picture for 6 to 10 weeks, that may give the Jets time to develop Bryce Petty and possibly even see what he can do on the NFL playing field in a regular season game. But to wrap all of this up, the moral of the story is, if you owe somebody, you better pay up, or you leave the chance of ending up like Geno Smith.